This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of GSP Resource Corp, Mr. Simon Dyakowski. Simon, good looking release. We have Thanksgiving coming here tomorrow. We have gold at 41.70, silver at 53, copper pushing that $5 spot price. And look, I think going into 2026, we're going to have another historic year in the metal space. You've positioned well. You just had a news release where you sampled 87 grams per ton silver, 3.3% copper, and 2.3 grams per ton gold. I'd love to get the context on the samples that came in. This follows a release back on October the 28th, where you also had some initial grab assay results that, again, showed high-grade copper, silver, plus gold. Talk to me about this release here and how it kind of connects with the other one.
Yeah. Thanks, Gerardo. Great backdrop for junior exploration with everything going on. Also, happy Thanksgiving to anybody in the U.S. that might be listening.
Thank you, sir.
To this recording, and to you, of course, and Nick and everybody with your team. Look, so the results that we're following up on here come off the back of the rushed results that we put out in October. So we only had a handful of results ready. I mean, the labs have been very slow because of the great demand placed on them by the resurgence and breakout in metals pricing. But we were able to get a few holes out a few samples out in October, which showed, the makings of some very strong new targets at the combined Alwyn-Mur properties. But now we have the balance of the rock samples, and really surprised to get even more strong results. And I think the key takeaway for us here is that the apex zone now, area D, the AL showing and the MER showing are high priority exploration targets now. And I think this is transformational for the project because, previously we had been focused on the Alwyn deposit. That is, we think that is still going to grow. It's artificially constrained by the property line. Our recent sampling has showed, over 5% copper, 35 grams silver, 2% copper samples outside of the current pit design. But what we're doing with this additional data is demonstrating several new undrilled targets that are going to be coming into our game plan over the coming weeks, really. So, the apex zone in particular with almost 12% copper over 300 grams silver in one sample, 4% copper over 100 grams silver in another, 3% copper, 48 grams silver, 2% copper, etc. There's a laundry list of excellent results there. This is a drill target now. Area D, this is a drill target now. The AL showing, this is a porphyry copper drill target. This is a massive conductor that we need to drill test in the coming months. And then the MER, we now have about a 100 by 40 meter, 100 square meter area that averages about 0.4% copper. This is at surface, so this is a porphyry style grade in an area with historic shallow drilling that has had no modern diamond drilling at depth. So this has got porphyry discovery written all over it as well. So I'd say this release is more meaningful than the one in October because it just increases the volume and increases our confidence in these drill targets. And also in the release, we have disclosed that we're still waiting some additional results. Now, these aren't rock assays, but they are, one of them would be soil sampling. So soil sampling is a technique that identifies typically porphyry drill targets. So we have a couple of targeted soil grid data sets pending, as well as hyperspectral sampling. Now, this is a new approach to finding porphyry style alteration, which we've also undertaken. So we should have those results out over the next few weeks as well. So still with news flow to come from the recent program, and all of this builds into a 2026 drill program. We are still waiting for a drill permit on the MER. So this is expected early in the new year. And we think that the right approach is to go and put together, a comprehensive drill program instead of, instead of just going one by one at these various targets, we want to get the drill out to all of them at the same time and really give this an exciting and potentially game-changing drill program.
No, look, you have a great jurisdiction. You have high-grade copper, silver, and gold. You now have drill-ready targets. And look, I understand fully. It's an impatient market. We got holidays here in November and December. You have, a permit that you're waiting on. But I have to say, the valuation right now for anyone that can wait a month or two to get a drill rig going, it's pretty damn compelling. Where's your market cap today, Simon?
I don't even want to tell you, but it's about $4 million. It's something that I'm not proud of, but I think it represents an opportunity for new investors to come in. And just to sort of highlight how cheap we are, we have just a copper resource, just under 35 million pounds of copper, that at around $5 US is $173 million in situ. This is, in my opinion, very much an understatement. And the reason for this is that the copper resource that we have in the model is constrained by the property, or sorry, the resource shell, like the grade shell of the resource, which I think can grow. We've even drilled high grade gold and copper outside of the resource shell, so that's an obvious area for growth. And I'll note that this copper number is not a copper equivalent, right? There's a lot of resources are stated in copper equivalent, and we know that there's a very significant high grade gold and silver component to the system, and that is excluded from our resource, because when this was initially drilled in the 1960s, silver was 50 cents or $1 an ounce, and gold was pegged at whatever it was, $30 an ounce. So they didn't even bother to assay for these elements, and we now have demonstrated through our sampling and our drilling that they are potentially significant contributors to the metal grade in this resource. So just on the basis of that, there's a potential to very meaningfully increase the size of this. So if you're looking at an in situ valuation against a $4 million market cap on a 100% owned property, it's a very compelling valuation. And I think now, despite the delays at the laboratory, we're going to have the news flow now over the next few months that can provide those all important catalysts and touch points to, educate the broader market about the opportunity here.
Buy low, sell high, folks. That's the name of the game. At a $4 million market cap, with the jurisdiction, with the commodities mix, with the team, and with catalysts coming up in the next month or two. It doesn't get much simpler as far as at least having a look and doing some due diligence. Anything to add to that, Simon?
I think that's a great message. Buy low, sell high. A lot of stocks have run. Sell them, get into cheap ones. I think it's a good strategy, right? If anybody has any questions, definitely feel free to reach out. Simon at gspresource.com, 604-619-7469. Happy to chat on any of the channels that are available to us. So thanks a lot for having me on this holiday week here, Gerardo.
Appreciate the time, as always, Simon. Looking forward to having you back on, and really looking forward to getting that permit and getting those rigs turning, and laughing about when you had a $4 million market cap.
Look forward to it as well. Have a good one.
Cheers. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.